Did you ever imagine the people who should love you most could be the ones to break you worst? Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing something incredibly personal and honestly so pretty raw. It's the story of how my parents, the very people I expected to be celebrating alongside me, completely ruined my wedding. My mom started making strange comments about Alex, questioning his intentions and suggesting he wasn't good enough for me. These comments weren't just casual, they were pointed and hurtful. They started arguing with Alex, accusing him of taking me away from them. Their voices grew louder, and soon they were creating a scene in front of everyone. I was mortified. I couldn't believe they would do this to me on my wedding day. I begged them to stop, but they wouldn't listen. Finally, I broke down in tears. I ran off the dance floor and into the bathroom, where I locked myself in a stall. Alex followed me, trying to comfort me. I told him I couldn't do this anymore. I couldn't pretend that everything was okay when my parents were actively trying to destroy my happiness. We decided to confront them together. We found them standing near the bar, still arguing. We told them that their behavior was unacceptable and that they were ruining our wedding. My dad scoffed, saying we were being dramatic. My mom started crying, accusing us of being ungrateful. In that moment, I realized that I couldn't reason with them. They were so consumed by their own negativity that they were incapable of seeing how much they were hurting me. She even brought up things from his past that I thought we had already put behind us. We thanked our guests for coming and apologized for the abrupt ending. Many people were understanding and supportive, but I could see the disappointment on their faces. As we were leaving, my parents tried to stop us. They begged us to stay, saying they were sorry, but I couldn't forgive them. Their actions had caused irreparable damage to our relationship. Alex and I drove away from the venue, feeling heartbroken and exhausted. The wedding night we had dreamed of was replaced by tears and disappointment. In the days that followed, I struggled to come to terms with what had happened. I was angry, hurt, and confused. I couldn't understand why my parents would do something so cruel. I tried talking to them, but they refused to take responsibility for their actions. They blamed Alex, they blamed me, they blamed everyone but themselves. Eventually, I realized that I had to accept that I couldn't change them. I had to focus on healing and moving forward with my life. It was a slow and painful process, but I knew it was necessary for my own well-being. I started therapy and found a support group for people who had experienced similar family issues. I confronted her, telling her that Alex made me incredibly happy and that I wouldn't tolerate her negativity. She dismissed my feelings, saying she was just looking out for me. Then my dad dropped a bombshell. He told me he had canceled the caterer I had wanted and replaced them with a cheaper option without consulting me. When I asked him why, he said it was too expensive and that I was being unrealistic with my expectations. I was furious. This wasn't just about the food. It was about their complete disregard for my wishes and their apparent desire to sabotage my wedding. I felt like I was losing control of everything I had worked so hard to create. The joy I had felt just weeks before was quickly turning into a deep sense of dread and anxiety. The wedding, which should have been a celebration of love, felt like a battlefield. I was caught in the middle, desperately trying to salvage what I could. This isn't easy to talk about, and it's taken me a long time to even begin to process it all. The excitement was gone, replaced by a heavy weight of sadness and disappointment. My bridesmaids tried their best to cheer me up, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. As I was getting ready, my mom came into the room. Instead of offering words of encouragement, she launched into another tirade about Alex, saying I was making the biggest mistake of my life. I finally snapped. I told her that I loved Alex, that I was happy, and that her negativity was ruining what should have been the happiest day of my life. She stormed out of the room, leaving me in tears. Despite everything, I tried to put on a brave face and walk down the aisle. As I stood at the altar, I couldn't help but notice the tension in the room. My parents were glaring at Alex, and their body language was icy. During the ceremony, my dad refused to make eye contact with me. The reception was even worse. My parents made passive-aggressive comments to Alex's family and openly criticized our choice of music and decorations. They were clearly trying to make us feel uncomfortable and miserable. Their behavior was so appalling that several guests actually approached me to express their sympathy. I'm Remy, and I'm usually all about positivity and finding the good in everything, but this situation, this shook me to my core. I always dreamed of a beautiful classic wedding in the city, surrounded by loved ones. I envisioned dancing with my dad, seeing the pride in my mom's eyes, and starting this new chapter with my amazing partner, Alex. But the reality was far, far from that fairy tale. I'm going to take you through everything from the initial excitement to the devastating blow, and hopefully, by sharing my story, I can help someone else who might be going through something similar. It's important to remember you're not alone, and you can get through even the most unimaginable heartbreak. So grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's talk about what happened. So it all started months before the wedding. Alex and I were meticulously planning every detail, from the venue to the flowers, the cake to the music. My parents seemed supportive at first, offering to help with various aspects of the planning. My mom took on the role of helping me find the perfect dress, which I thought was so sweet. We went to several bridal boutiques, and I finally found the one. It was an aligned gown with delicate lace detailing and a beautiful train. I felt like a princess. My dad, meanwhile, offered to handle the catering. He knew I wanted a specific type of cuisine, so he promised to find the best caterer in the city. Everything seemed to be falling into place. We were so happy and excited to share our love with our family and friends. Little did I know, beneath the surface, a storm was brewing. I started noticing subtle hints of disapproval from my parents, little comments about Alex's family or our choices for the wedding. I brushed them off, thinking they were just being overprotective parents, but the negativity started to escalate as we got closer to the big day. They seemed increasingly distant and critical, which I initially attributed to pre-wedding jitters on their part, or maybe even a little sadness seeing their daughter grow up and move on. I truly didn't expect what would happen next. The week before the wedding, things took a drastic turn. On the day of the wedding, I woke up feeling numb. The breaking point came during the first dance. Alex and I were on the dance floor, trying to enjoy our moment, when my parents approached us. We made the difficult decision to cut the reception short. The aftermath of the wedding was incredibly difficult. Alex and I spent a lot of time talking and processing our emotions. We leaned on each other for support and reaffirmed our love and commitment to each other. He was an incredible source of strength, and I don't know how I would have gotten through it without him. I decided to take a break from my parents. Remember, even when faced with unimaginable heartbreak, you are strong, you are resilient, and you deserve happiness. If you did, please give this video a big thumbs up. Don't let anyone steal your joy, especially not on your wedding day. If you've experienced anything similar, or if you just want to share your thoughts, please leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your stories and offer any support I can. I needed time and space to heal, and I couldn't do that with them constantly in my life. It was hard, but I knew it was the right decision. I focused on my own happiness and well-being. I spent time with friends, pursued my hobbies, and started new projects. Slowly but surely, I began to feel like myself again. Months later, my parents reached out to me. They apologized for their behavior and admitted that they had been wrong. They said they had been jealous of my relationship with Alex and had been afraid of losing me. While their apology didn't erase the pain they had caused, it was a step in the right direction. I decided to give them another chance, but I set clear boundaries. I told them that I would not tolerate any more negativity or disrespect towards Alex. Over time, our relationship slowly began to heal. It wasn't perfect, but it was better. I learned to accept my parents for who they are, flaws and all. I also realized that I couldn't control their behavior, but I could control how I reacted to it. I focused on maintaining a healthy relationship with Alex and creating a life filled with love and happiness. Looking back on my wedding day, I still feel a pang of sadness. It wasn't the day I had always dreamed of, but it taught me valuable lessons about love, forgiveness, and resilience. It also showed me the importance of choosing your own happiness, even when it means going against your family. I learned that family isn't always defined by blood, but by the people who love and support you unconditionally. And I'm so grateful for the love and support I have received from Alex, my friends, and my chosen family. I want to emphasize this is a very specific situation and not everyone's parents will react this way. But I hope my story helps those in similar situations know that you are not alone and things will get better. So that's my story. It was a tough one to share, but I hope it resonates with some of you. And that's it for today's video. I really hope you found this helpful or at least relatable. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more stories and content like this. Share this video with anyone who might need to hear it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.